Yes, so warm welcome everyone for this beautiful Sunday lecture. I introduce you now our topic and Jignesh Panchal from Sweden. Our topic is filters of life and thought power. Spiritual knowledge is like a sieve through which we can filter out the untrue. Running our thoughts through it constantly ensures that we are heading in the right direction. When thoughts are brought into action, they can be seen immediately. When the mind is filled with virtues, they will be relieved in our actions. By elevating our thoughts, we can literally end up purifying the self, inspiring others to do likewise. Our life will be the inspiration for them to change. There won't even be the need to say anything. Our presence of pure thoughts can reach out, and that's the whole world. Our very life can do the work of a lighthouse. Jignesh Panchal has been studying Raja Yoga for the past 22 years and currently coordinates Brahma Kumaris meditations, courses, and other programs in South Sweden, Lund. He works for a field of technology in Sweden and has volunteered in various fields, including Visamo Kids Foundation in Ahmedabad and being a United Nations ambassador for environment activities. Jignesh is logical and always sees himself full of strength and enthusiasm. So warm welcome, Jignesh. Wonderful that you are here with us all the way from Sweden.
Yeah, thank you so much for a lovely introduction. And very good evening to all my friends and my youth, dear friends from Finland, and greetings from South Sweden. And in the spirituality, we start and begin all the sessions and all the talks, which we always say Om Shanti. And the meaning of Om Shanti is, I am a peaceful being, I am a peaceful light. So thank you and greetings to all. It's wonderful to be part with the Finland team and Finland family far from the Sweden. This technology is always so good that we are keeping very dear to each other. So yeah, so we are going to talk about the topic of filters of life and thought power. So I was thinking, if someone asks me, like when I go to UN delegates and when I go for this environmental stuff and some stuff which is related to youth, and then I realize what is something which I can convey or which I can share to my dear friends, what is a spirituality? And I always share this word that thought power, and thought power is something which is very, very important in our life. And that makes our life strong or weak, sad or happy. It's all about our thought power. Then I was thinking like, what could be the best example? And then I was just being an engineer, like we learn about filters. You know, in engineering, we have some stuff called low pass filter, high pass filter, and noise cancellation filter and stuff like that, many filters. So I was thinking sometime in our life, we also need to have some filters. So what kind of filters one can apply? So as we know, we have plenty of thoughts in our mind, like sometimes some good thoughts, sometimes some bad thoughts. So I'm practicing that whatever I think, or I would say the thoughts, what I have, I always check that if these thoughts are really helping me or not. And if particular thought, let's say if I have, I really filter out that if this is needed or not. And then I can give the best example. Like I was reading one book about Socrates. He was a philosopher, German philosopher, and very nice study what he had. It was, he used to go to market every day and he used to look each and every shops every day. And he has a particular time and then he thinks something. And then there was a one shopkeeper, he was thinking that this guy comes every day. What is the reason? And it's not a one time, it's every day, the same time. And then very courageously, that shopkeeper asked Socrates that why you are coming this street every day and you are just keeping, you're just checking these shops and not buying anything. If you want something, maybe I could help you and I can borrow money and stuff like that. And Socrates answered that, no, I don't want to buy anything, but I'm checking the shops every day and I have a thought into my mind that do I really need this? Or do I really need to buy this? Am I okay if I don't buy? You know? And then he said, imagine the thought is so much powerful that you can control your thought. It just you have to turn around. And every day he used to talk to his own self that do I really need it? Do I really need it? No, go back to home. So that's a practice, and I really like that idea. Yes, we should have a practice. So we should know what is good and what is bad. And being youth, sometimes we are surrounded by many other people, some people are stressful, some people are depressed, or some people are not happy, some are happy. So it's the waves. I always feel that surrounding us is like a sine wave, ups and down, ups and down. But it might possible that these waves, like happiness and sad and technology, they say there might be some spike, which we call noise. So filters help them to remove the noise and make it smooth. So the meaning of filter, sometimes we understand that it's a sieve, we can have like a sieve, and then that will give you the filter water or filter stuff like that. So then I was thinking we should have filters also. So like there are plenty of filter for the human being, like for your thoughts. So in spirituality, we often use the word peace, happiness, love, freedom, integrity. Those are the virtues, what we can say as filters. So like if I give my practical life example, like we work in a corporate, and maybe we might know the corporate world is always like, bumping, always like, lot of stuff you have to finish on time, this time, or maybe within a month or within a week. So then I realized it's stressful, like sometimes you can't finish. And and your management also know that you can't finish this stuff in a 1 month, perhaps 1 week, or perhaps you need maybe 2 months. So basically we are suppressing our life with this thought that I can't do it, I can't do it. So what I have started, it's been like 5 years, I can say. I have started one practice in my life. So whenever I get something, example, like from the pressure from my peer to peer or office, so immediately, mind creates thoughts. So I started thinking, oh no, what will happen now? What will happen now? I can't finish this. So those are the continuous rotation in my mind. And they are not good thoughts, I know. So then spirituality helped me to understand. And I started talking to myself. And I talked to myself that, do you think by thinking this way, you would finish your work? And my mind immediately replied, no. And then I again talked to myself that for that, you need a filter. Why can't you apply the filter of happiness? And what is the filter of happiness? So then I think, okay, imagine I finish this work in 1 month, which is my deadline. That's a perfect. But imagine if you finish in a 20 days, example. So maybe you have extra 10 days, just enjoy. And that thought, just enjoy that thought, that boosts me up. And I feel that's something called empowerment for me. And this is how I empowered. And sometimes some news, if you read, like, in some corner of the world, something bad is happening. We know in the world, there are plenty of places like earthquake or tsunamis, and many stuff is happening in the world. So when I read the news, I feel sad that why this? Nature has to be good, nature has to support. But then I understood, being an environment person, that we are not looking after the nature. We are doing a lot of bad stuff to our nature. So then I give a thought to my mind, rather to be sad, let me have a filter of peace and let me spread the peace to the nature. And maybe I can send my peace vibration to those people, those who are in stressful, or those who are in distress, or those who are in depression. And actually it works, because thought power is so powerful that the moment you start thinking that my vibration goes to particular area, particular person, actually it goes. And sometimes we feel that that person is calling, or sometimes we see that person is messaging, and we call the word telepathy. So that is nothing but the thought power. But when we say that my thought should reach, or my thought should be power, the foundation to make your thought very careful, very clear, and very catchy to other person or nature, you have to be very humble. And that's what I learned from spirituality. For each and every time, you have to be humble. You can't be rude to yourself. You can't just rude to some other, and you have to justify each and every aspect of your life. And second thing I always do, I never ever verify or validate myself from someone. I don't ask someone whether I'm right or wrong. Maybe I know myself better. Like I know myself better in terms of from my childhood to my young age. I know. So asking someone is something, maybe you are killing your self-respect. So this I'm talking about the foundation if you want to have the clear thoughts and powerful thought. So humbleness and clarity. I don't need to verify myself with someone. Like example, we know social media. I always talk about the social media whenever I have a session, because we do maintain the social media for environment, Brahma Kumaris stuff, and like youth portion of the Brahma Kumaris stuff. So now I'm very much used to with this social media, and I was just checking, and I saw in social media we have many stuff. So like comments and hashtags and photos, and top of the photos we have a filters. This filter, shiny filter, star filter. You just swipe and then you find the filters in Instagram. And I was thinking, like, imagine you click one photo and that's the original, but by swiping right and left, you change the filter, and that filter will superimpose on that particular picture, and you see the picture is changing. Sometimes some people uploading the picture and like actually they are not that great with the background, but with the filter they can have a shiny stars and like stars and stuff like that. So imagine if those filter can change the picture so nicely, 360-degree change. Exactly, spirituality says the filter of happiness, love, peace, integrity, humbleness, this all filter, just swipe it. You should have like filters like peace, happiness, love, and joy, happiness, and stuff like that, and decide which one you want to apply now. Like if the situation comes to me, take a moment of silence, talk to yourself, and just apply one filter. Swipe it, pada, and you will see the miracle. So that's something spirituality always teach you, and it's a practice. I would say this is not something I'm doing now. It's like practice of 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, and I would say that's really helping, because when you are a youth and you are working with the youth, so different people, different thinking, different chapters of life. Maybe we have a one book, but not all are on the same page, not all are on the same line, or not the same chapter either. So it might happen that you might feel bad, or it might possible that you feel so good. But the maintaining the life with your thought that no matter what, I have to be grounded, I have to be humble, just smile, just be happy, be content. Those thoughts like be happy, be content, and talk to yourself, and you will see the miracle. Because it says like psychology, and then somewhere I was reading the article, they say you are the one of the most energetic person in your life to empower your own self. No one else can help you. Maybe you can inspire like our global leader. Like I was reading other day the book of Thomas Alva Edison, and one thought, because maybe he didn't like the lamp, and then maybe he started inventing something. Then the person was not a good in study. That's what I read. But then you know the invention what he has given to us. Just one thought. Imagine one thought can bring one thought can change the whole world. And other day I was reading the story of Mahatma Gandhi, because being born in an Indian family, I was just trying to read the history and culture, and I like the story of Mahatma Gandhi when he started the freedom movement and the peace movement with only one thought. And then he said, each and every human should have equal rights. And that's a one thought. And at the end, the message what we got is, my life is my message. Imagine that is one thought, and that's an inspiration. So your thought, you can inspire. You can't change people. You can't change anyone. If you're trying to change someone, maybe that thought is not a thought. That's something your wish you want, but which is not going to happen because you can't change a person. So I always say I'm here to satisfy my own self and to empower and uplift my own self. I'm not here to satisfy the society. I'm not here to satisfy the world. But yet I am here to inspire and show the path of the empowerment to society. And that thought I can see is changing, and it's like a miracle, I would say. So a lot of stuff you can do it. So that's something I always follow, rather to keep and rather to think much about what happened, what has happened, or what is going to be happen, rather to be going to that detail. Maybe we should focus what's needed now. And that's something I call the power of thought. And as I said, the filters, when we spoke about when I spoke about the filter of love, happiness, and peace, just try once in terms of like make a habit or make a practice. Like anything happen to your life, maybe it's a good or bad, rather to change you can't change the situation, rather to change the situation, rather to change the person, just thinking that no, whatever is happening, maybe it's perhaps the good thing for me, or maybe that's a learning for me which I can carry forward. And that thought definitely gives you some kind of relax. So because I always do that from the office work, and like when we conduct the meditation and when we meet people, like in you and I meet plenty of people, so they have a lot of opinions, lot of questions about the environment. But if you listen to everyone, and if you try to understand a lot of people, it likely we get confused, it likely we get distracted, and it very likely that you get disturbed also. So then what I do, I decide from whom I need to listen, and what are the things which I can store here. If I start reading, if I start listening a lot of stuff, and if I don't understand what exactly is happening, that might create a chaos in my life. So I always see what is needed and what is not needed. So like when we started, we just I wrote one line, and then that have been read by Mala, and it was like, you can't just make something. You have the filter of, you can see when you can understand what is true and what is untrue, and that filter is nothing but helping you to just create the new thought. So like example, you started with one thought that, okay, I want to be good person for this today, especially I will be happy today. So when you start having one thought that I will be happy today, basically you create your own energy. And that's what spirituality says. When you have a powerful thought, you create your own aura, you create your own energy, and with that energy you travel, you go somewhere. And while going, you meet plenty of people. Maybe you see situation, you see people, and then because your thought is very powerful in the morning, that no matter what, you want to be happy, then every nature, the part of the nature, your body, your inner being, everybody, I would say everything will help you to achieve that goal, that you want to be happy. In between, you might see there are some distraction, something which you don't like. So that time, remember that you created the thought this morning, I want to be happy no matter what. Now this situation, what I can do, either you can ignore, and if you can't ignore, maybe filter out and just take a good point or good stuff from that particular situation or person. And then I realize, if I follow this process every day, and like every day I have a new thought, like today is, let's say, my day of joy, tomorrow will be my day of happiness, and yesterday my day of honesty. So when I practice on that, if I'm honest with myself, if I have a joyful nature, if I have a happy nature, so it's like a routine. And they say in some books it's mentioned, if you follow one stuff or one thought or one process, anything for 21 days, it becomes it's a part of life. So now it's my practice. Like every day I have a list of the thoughts, like virtues, I would say, and I just pick one. And when I pick one, I just, try to practice on it. So like today is my day of joy. So morning I went out for a walk and I was constantly thinking that no matter what, I have to be joyful today because I'm so happy and my life is so beautiful. And look at the nature, the summer is so good. I know there are a lot of stuff happening outside the world, but maybe if I'm happy, if I'm joyful, maybe my vibration of joyful vibrates and it goes to people. And I can realize when I was walking and some people I can see they don't smile, they don't you say hello or something in the garden when I walk in park. But I see when I'm smiling, people actually smile. There was a time I remember when I first time came to Sweden 5 years before, and I was going for a park, and then I was smiling, and nobody was smiling. And then I came to know that people here are quite shy. They will walk like this. So then it was very weird for me being born in Indian family and brought up in Western, and I was thinking, oh. But then I decided, no matter what, I'm not seeking their approval, their verification that if I smile, you have to smile, but I will continue with my nature. And this is how I'm practicing since many years, like I would say 5 years. And whenever I go for a walk in the morning and when I smile with one thought, people started smiling. And now some people, they say hello also, you know. So that's something I can say. You can't change people. You can't change a particular person, but you can inspire them just with one thought, and that thought should be very elevated. So it might possible that initially you don't understand what's happening, what's going on, but perhaps noting down or maybe churning, like in a spirituality we have a journal. So every morning we do some kind of spiritual study and we do our journaling in terms of like very it's art of living, something. You have to do this today. The day is a joy. Today, no matter what, I have to spend the peaceful vibration to some people, those who are in a stressful life. And like today, I also have to be humble. So those are the some points which we note down. And throughout the day, we practice. And practice in terms of maybe if you go out or if you meet someone, and maybe in lockdown, sometimes we don't go out, we don't meet people, but being with own self, company of your own self is very difficult. So then talk to yourself, how to be humble. And then we do journaling, we write, and then we note down and repeat. And this is how I felt. It's easy for me now to control my thoughts. I find not difficult. Maybe it's a practice, I would say. But now I can decide if some people, or like maybe one person is telling me something, I literally figure out this stuff is not my cup of tea. Or sometimes I don't listen, but it's like, going from head. I'm not at all interested. And person will come to know that, okay, that person is not interested. So that's something you can have this kind of control on your mind. And if you have a control, what to take, what not to take, taking the good stuff, taking the bad stuff, and then you would see the changes in your life. So very simple example, like we have a garbage bin, like we always put the garbage. Have you ever noticed, like, you put something on the garbage bin, you just walk and you get something from other garbage bin to your home? No, because garbage is garbage. We don't collect garbage. Some people, they collect tins and bottles. That's a different story. But then we never collect the garbage from someone else. Exactly, because we don't like it's so dirty, so yuck. We don't want to collect. Exactly, how can I take the garbage from someone's mind to my mind? It's not needed. But rather, I would prefer if you have some good points or maybe something good inspiration from your life, I would like to listen and I would like to understand. Maybe that will inspire me. So that's what a thought power can do. A thought power is something you can change yourself and you can inspire someone. Remember, you can't change someone else. You can change yourself because you know yourself better, but you can inspire someone. And once you inspire, you will see the difference. You will see the difference within you. Like all the global leaders, You see the Nelson Mandela. I was reading the story about him, and this Thomas Alva Edison, this Socrates. I mean, many people. Maybe I am naming a few, but there are plenty of people. Those who are very much leader, I would say, and they have done a lot of good stuff. If you read their history or maybe their life story, somewhere they have mentioned one thought, and that thought might be, creating a huge inspiration to other. Like I was reading, I forgot the name of that person, but the one who invented the fountain pen. So the story was like he was so lazy to dip into the ink and write, dipping and writing. It was so lazy. So that thought, he got that thought, and we see he invented the fountain pen. So you need not to refill. So there are plenty of stuff which we can say one thought can change the world. So exactly, maybe that's what I wanted to share with all of you. And that's my practical life experience. And spirituality and meditation is always helping me to filter out what is good and what is not. So like there are a lot of stuff coming into your mind every day. Imagine like, good, bad, useless, surplus, sometimes not needed. So like meditation and this thought power, when you have the controlling the thought, maybe you can have a filter here somewhere, and you decide what to take, what to throw, what to take and what not needed. And this is what I'm practicing, that something which is very danger for my own life, I think not needed. And we know very well that sometime we not sometime, I would say all the time, we know that like too much stuff, example, too much alcohol or too much drugs or too much food, too much thought power, everything too much is always a danger for our life. So spirituality or thought power will help you to make the balance. So in spirituality, we always use some words. We call this master and child. So master and child means some stuff which are useless, not needed. You just become a master and decide, okay, I want this, I don't want this. I want this, I don't want this. So be master, stuff which is needed, take the ownership and decide what you want to feel into your mind. And when we talk about the child, that is for the learning. When you are learning something, when you are listening to inspire yourself, then be a child and try to listen, try to understand, try to adjust. But at the same time, you decide what to take and what not to take. So this child and master combination, which is sometimes we practice in spirituality, just to make sure that I'm not taking anything extra, like extra salt. Putting extra salt, too much salt into food is also ruin your food. And not putting salt sometimes also the food is not good. So the balance, salt pepper balance, they say salt pepper look and salt pepper balance. So that's something I would say nutshell, that's my practice. Just for spirituality. And then in my office work, and when we organize the meditation, when I go to UN delegates, some environmental activity, when I counsel the youth, when I meet different kind of people, that's something I practice a lot. So maybe that's what my sharing, or I would say it's my personal experience, how I manage myself. And sometimes it might be possible that some people, they pull you down. Because if you are going, it's like a success ladder. It's like you go up and then you come down. You go up and you come down. You think you achieve the success, but actually the success is somewhere here. So it might possible people will pull you down. People will demoralize you, demotivate you. But that also you should know. And how you can understand? Just with the thought power. So start thinking that if I think, or maybe I believe, or I have a strong feeling that no, I am right, I think you are right. No need to worry. Just go ahead. Or maybe you can check with your seniors or maybe your inspirational person. You can take you can take an advice. No need to verify yourself. When I say advice is a different, and when I say verify is a different. Verify is something you share your points, or maybe someone is saying, no, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, and you accept as it is. That's called verification. No, I think you have your own thinking, you have your own nature. So rather to verify, take an advice. Okay, if you have something, think that I have something, what you think, what should I do? And let them give advice. And maybe from that advice, you can decide what to do and what not to do, rather to just accept what a person is saying. So no need to verify. Just, I would say, take an advice and move on. And while practicing this process, I would say just start. Maybe once you start, you might get trouble, but slowly, I'm damn sure you don't need anyone's advice. You are the one who is managing everything. And then you will see one day that you are happy. The way sometimes when I go to office, morning I go to office, I smile. And once I come, and when I'm coming back from my office to my home, still I'm smiling. And I realize why I'm so happy, because I know now what to throw and what to take. Because this sometimes life is beautiful, that's true, but sometimes danger also. If you are with someone, they are not taking care properly, or they are not advising properly, then they are not leaders, they are not inspirational entity for you. Maybe that's something they might demoralize you. So that's why I feel when people say you have to be social, be in the social, social drink. And I said there is some terminology. Social drink is different, social is different, and being a social person is different. There is no connection between them. I just want to be some group, some person. If I'm standing, if I'm having conversation, that's something called the socially connected. And some people say, no, you have to have the drink. But then I said, no, I know. I mean, some things are not good for my mind. And I know I don't want some liquor or some liquid to, destroy my mind, and then I'm dizzy and then I'm sleeping, and no. So that's my choice. So now I understood how to be social. So this is where I practice a lot, and I'm quite happy in my life. I see a lot of challenges and a lot of obstacles while working with the international team and working with so many people across the world. Like in my team, in my office, I work for the company where we design the microprocessor, the chip of computer. And then I deal with a lot of people across the world, from United States to Australia to Eastern, Western, everywhere. And then I see the different mindset, different people, different thinking, and they do have their own problems also. Sometimes they can easily throw their problems to you, their own stress they throw to you, then their own depression they might speak to you. But then spirituality is really helping me to understand, if they are throwing me, actually I don't care also, because I know what I need to take. And I think that's what something my key message to all my dear youth and my friends. Yep. Thank you. Maybe now if you have any question, I would like to answer. Yeah.
Thank you so much. There was so much, like for example, this, that it's all is in our own hands. And when we are thinking through the virtues, it goes easily. But we just have to make the choice that what do I take to my mind today? That today I want to be joyful or full of happiness. Thank you. There are some questions. I can read from the chat. Sanna is asking that, what is your method to stop all the waste and negative thoughts? Or are you really happy and joyful 24/7?
Very good question. 24/7. But I must say, I don't feel sad at all. That's what I can say. Maybe joyful might be the stage. Sometimes, like if I have a 2 long meetings, 2 hours and 3 hours, then you feel exhausted. So definitely that's not the joyful moment or not happy moment. But I can see that's not either my sad moment. So the question would be like, I can answer in that way, how to, I think, how to stop the waste and negative. In a way, what I do, that's what I said, I can literally understand, like anyone can understand, like if you are talking with some person and that person is your near and dear one, and that person is throwing lot of bad stuff, or bad words and negative words for some other person, and sometimes we believe that person because that person is my dear and near one. So basically that's the start point. we always believe that my near and dear one is always right, but it's not necessary. We have to understand, we don't know the other part of the story. So maybe that could be the one example that if we want to stop the waste and negative, perhaps the language, you can feel and you can sense the language of someone. Or maybe sometime, or not sometime, most of the time we have something here, our own waste thought, our own negative thought. But this comes when we listen from someone, or maybe we read from someone. Mind is like, in technology they have a one word called FIFO: first in, first out. It's called FIFO, FIFO, first in, first out. So imagine you are late night listening to someone and you have no idea what's going on, and you just listen. Imagine you all are storing here, and morning you wake up, you feel very tired because your mind is so much occupied. So the moment you get awareness, the kind of life next day, your mind started working. So first in, first out. So it started bombarding with a lot of waste thought and waste stuff which you have listened yesterday. So maybe I understand now that if someone is telling me something, I sometimes, being a selfish, I said, stop. You are telling me the story of someone. Maybe we should not discuss. I appreciate you are in trouble, you are in problem. I totally understand. But maybe it would be nice if that person also be here and we three can discuss. That will give you the solution. Rather, you are telling me the story of what happened with your life and stuff like that. So maybe that I'm very strong with my life, because I know if I'm not strong with my own life, like some people are like with the big mouth, they can, swallow you. So that's something I would say, the waste and negative, where to stop. And that's maybe from the other person. But if we talk about from here, so this will take time. This mind has a lot of stuff. It's layered. They say when you see something, maybe two people are fighting, you see, actually that stores here in the mind. And throughout your life, one day it will come out, maybe by dreams, or maybe by you do the same, you act, because you store here. When you see something, it's like a camera, you are just clicking the photos. So that is the one thing which I always feel, that what I am looking, what I am seeing. Sometimes I read the news, like I was reading 2 days before, I was reading the news, and literally I was feeling so sad. And then I understood, do I have a control to this? And I talked to my mind that, do I have a control? Can I do something for them, whatever is happening in the eastern part of the world? And my mind answered, no, you can't do anything. But that is wrong. And I had a literally chat with my mind. If you do not have any control to that situation, why you are damaging your life? And then immediately I did 5 minutes of meditation, and then I gave the peace vibration. And then I realized now I'm relaxed. So maybe sometime you can't stop it, whatever inside, but maybe you can stop from today, that now onwards, whatever I'm listening, whatever I'm reading, or whatever I'm referring, does it require? Then and then go through it, and then you can stop it. So now, like example, I have many friends across the world. So whenever I talk to them, now they understood. They never ever say something, like foolish or something useless. Sometimes boys, they have a different talks. So now my friend knows that I'm not interested, because very straightforward, very honestly, I told them that, I want to look after my own life. I want to be a successful person in my life. I want to be happy. So I don't want to listen what you are saying about someone else. Maybe let's talk about your life and my life. And now it's after long year, now they understood. So now I can say I have stopped. I don't want to listen what your mother-in-law is doing and what your father-in-law is doing. Maybe you can share with me, but if something which is negative, please let's not share. If it is something positive, your mother-in-law, she is a good guitarist, I would love to listen that records and stuff. But if she is this and that and this and that and ups and down, no, I'm not interested. So this is how I stop. But yet now already some stuffs are, already stored here. this will go slowly, not immediately. And like I do every day, like in our meditation, we do have every day evening half an hour meditation. So every day I try to attend that meditation and relax myself and try to understand that I have a lot of stuff here in my mind. Slowly I'm throwing something. And when you sit in a silence, when you sit and then you talk to yourself, that these negative thoughts will come out, it will poke. And that's something called the FIFO out. And then I talk to myself, okay, what negative thought you have now? And my mind will say, 10 years before you said something bad to that person, and I said, I'm sorry. So I'm just clearing. So I would say maybe it's a process, but that's surety that you have to stop listening from somewhere, or maybe stop reading something which is not needed. And the thing and something which is not in my control, I think sending peace vibration is the only method. Maybe that's what I can say.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful answer, and good reminder that we all have to make our own lives with self-respect. It's good to be kind, but with self-respect, right?
Yep.
And I don't know, do you know that we are still waiting for the meditation? If you can keep the 10 minutes meditation for us. But
sure.
Before that, we have still one question, time for one question. It's from Dipti. So here it goes. In situations where the head knows that I should not think like this, like negative, and so yes, the mind with help of knowledge will think positive, even if the person have said or done something unpleasant, for example, so the head might be positive, the logic, but feelings. How to work on the negative feelings? Would you say eventually positive thoughts will give positive feelings, or is it positive feelings give positive thoughts?
So in that way, like I can give you a simple example, like imagine you have a glass of water, and that water is, I would say, the dirty water, maybe the mud, or like, the dust in the water. So there are two ways you can clean the water. One, you can filter out, but for that, maybe you have to take the filter, and, already we talked about. But the second thing would be start pouring the clean water, just started pouring the clean water, and eventually you would see in the glass, it's a clean water. So that's something what we call the spirituality. Start feeding the positivity here. And one thing has to be positive: your feeling, your emotion, your attitude, your logical mind, your illogical mind, whatever, one has to be positive. Imagine, like we know the mathematic rules, that if I have 1,000 multiplied by 1 equal to 1,000, but if I have 1,000 multiplied by -1, the answer would be -1,000. So that means it's negative. So if any one thing is negative, I think we ruin the whole stuff. But spirituality says this is not mathematical. This is feeling and attitude and your nature. One has to be positive. So what I do, sometimes some people are very emotional, they take it personally. If you say something like maybe some discrimination or some kind of, I would say this discouragement, anything, you take it personally, because we are very sensitive, we are very emotional. But at the same time, you have to talk to your mind, no need to be worried. And then once you started feeding this positive thought, no need to worry, slowly your feelings, your attitude, your thought, eventually everything will turn into positivity. So one has to start, like that's what I said, the pouring the clean water into the glass, the negative will overflow, and then you would see one time that the glass is full of clean water. The mind is exactly like this. Take your mind, consider your mind. Your mind is having a lot of thoughts, and take your mind as a baby and treat very well. Like sometime I know when I came to Sweden 5 years before and I had a long flight from New York, and then I was so tired, and I was and I landed in Sweden mid of November and 2 o'clock, and which was dark. Because I never faced this Nordic experience that 3 o'clock is a dark outside. So next day it was like very stressful for me. You know what I did? I gifted a new phone to my own self. Sometimes you have to do that. So then I, pamper my life that no need to worry, everything will be fine. You will used to it. And if you don't like, maybe you have an option, go back, start your new life again. And this thought changed my life in a week because, you started feeding positive. Maybe watch some series which has a positive meaning. Read something which has a positive meaning. I always read about the people's biography, their life story, like Thomas Alva Edison, Mahatma Gandhi, like Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela. We have a recently book of Dari Janki, the chief of Brahma Kumaris. They have a tremendous problems in their own life, but how they achieve, that's something I feel positivity. So those are the source of positive. Um, but that's very true. Some people they are doing good, and some people they are doing bad. But sometimes it's very difficult to identify what is good and what is bad. But rather at that time, I just give us some positive stuff to my mind. Just keep this aside for a moment and let me feel the good stuff here. And I watch some comedy series, I watch some comedy movie, and that makes me happy. And then I talk to my mind. Now tell me what's your problem, you know. So then you are relaxed. That situation is calmed down. That particular incident, what has happened, is just like slow down, and then you can easily take the decision. So if I answer in a nutshell, like yes, sometime there is a gap between head and the heart, So it's like some people they think from here, and some people they think from here. Both are right from their own perspective. But if you are thinking from your heart, let's say, I think eventually you will be happy, because they say, like, they are quite emotional, but too much emotional also ruin your life. So sometimes you have to use this also. So in spirituality, we have a one retreat, what we call the balance between head and heart, and that's what I say, the master and child, that feeling. So maybe that would be my answer. But that's very true. One day you will be positive, that's surety. No question, or no some regret on that. If you feel positive, simple. If you have a seed, if you sow the seed, and if you pour the water every day, eventually the fruit will come, because your hard work will always be paid off. So your mind is like that.
Thank you so much. This topic is beautiful, and lecture there was very much information and even tools to use. Thank you for that. So now, is it okay if we start our meditation? Can you keep it for us? Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Om Shanti. Taking just a moment. Let me sit in a silence. Maybe you might have a lot of thoughts coming in your mind. Tell them that I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you later. And let me keep calm. And let me enjoy the peaceful moment. Let me have one thought that I am very much empowered being. I'm quite powerful. I'm unique. This thought will help me to achieve the peacefulness. And this thought will give me the peace. And let me enjoy the peace within. And I'm happy. And I'm free. I'm free from worry. I'm free from confusion. And I'm free from bondages. Let me enjoy this moment. And let me see myself. And let me relax. This thought is charging me. And this thought giving me energy. And then let me connect to the source. The source would be the light or the nature. The source of energy is charging me, my own self, my own life. And I now can control my thoughts. My thoughts are becoming powerful. I can see what is good and what is bad for me. And with this clarity, I am now happy. And I see joy, happiness is my nature. It's my own nature. And with that nature, I will continue. I will continue my life. Let me do this again. Let me relax. Let me go beyond. Let me free from worry, from tension, from bondages. And let me connect again to divine, to the nature. And now again, the joy and happiness is part of my life. Imbibe it. Just be happy. I now understand that my life is very important. I now understand my life is beautiful because I'm happy, because I'm joyful. And let me continue this throughout my day, throughout my life. And nobody can shake me. I'm happy and I'm joyful. Now let me enjoy the stage of happiness, the stage of joyfulness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you for the beautiful meditation. And now it's also time to thanks for this beautiful lecture. And I think that here there were all over 20 listeners tonight. So I think that when we shut off our computers, we will all have full of virtues in our mind, and we will check our mind what is going on there.
Be happy.
Yeah.
I'm the owner of my own book. I'm the author of my own write-up. That's what I can say. Thank you so much for a lovely chance and talking to the wonderful audience so far I have had.
Thank you, Jignesh.